Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Kuroko no Basket. Yo, son, man, the gates. Yeah, the gate. Let me in. Like, straight up, man. That's the way it was at the end of the episode. But at the beginning of the episode and at the middle of the episode, it was mainly just, like, mad Kiyoshi hype. It was Kiyoshi, like, the right of postponement, like, yeah, palming the ball, doing all types of stuff, yeah. But the one guy from Jose, their rookie, like their big center guy, who's the aggressive guy. First of all, the voice actor is the same guy as Madarame Ikaku from Bleach. That guy is hilarious. There's something about the way he does his stuff. The way he is very animated as a voice actor. He seems to be, like, really in it. Like, I don't know. Like his tone is just, it's funny. It's absolutely hysterical. When it came to the whole scene about how he was like, Captain, that's really mean. You told me the coach was a girl. But I was expecting more curves. This is not sexy. And it points right to Rico. Rico's like, yeah, and then she goes like, K-OK. So, the episode was funny. Of course, at the beginning, too, when there was a little scene, like, right before they actually go over to Jose, there is, or wherever they're playing, I think it is either Jose or, like, well, they're playing somewhere. And, basically, it was like, oh, so, we're waiting for someone, Kuroko. And then, so they all assume that Kuroko did his misdirection and he's already there. No. He was actually just got there. And this shit was funny because he was like, I've been here the entire time. This dude straight up trying to hide it, like, because he was hauling ass, so he was breathing heavy. And the guy was like, wait, no, bullshit, you just got here. I'm gonna say a word. Silence? Really? So that to me was funny as fuck. But the main things of the episode are, in fact, these two things. Number one, amongst the era of the Generation of Miracles, there were these individuals who, had not the Generation of Miracles existed, they would have been considered prodigies. And amongst these 5 individuals, Kiyoshi is one of them. He has the right of postponement. Because he has these huge hands, he can palm the ball. And he has, apparently, the coordination of a point guard. So he has multiple options while in the air, while being in the paint. And it makes him a very hard center to actually defend against. And not only that, but he's also a very strong center. So he's a combination of a technical center and a strong center. He is the full package when it comes to center. The only center, because when you actually go back to what that individual is saying in the first episode of this season, the one guy from, what's the one team? Seiho. There you go, Seiho. The, like, real defensive squad. He was saying had not Murasaki Bara existed, Kiyoshi would be considered the best center. So, apparently now we're introduced in the anime to these dudes who apparently are very skilled. Not as skilled as the Generation of Miracles, but they're very skilled. And had the Generation of Miracles not existed, they would be the best players of their time. So that is very important to know. Because now, even though there are no one aside from Kagami who are on the Generation of Miracles level, there are still very skilled dudes out there. And this may actually be a huge, well, when you think about it, look at Seiren. The way I see Seiren is this. Seiren has, in a way, 2 members, or 2 people who are Generation of Miracle level. They have Kuroko, they have Kagami. Then they have another individual who is very, very skilled and would be considered the best of his time, Kiyoshi. So you have 3 individuals that are, when it comes to pure skill alone, are exceptional amongst the Japanese high school basketball players. 3. So, when it comes to that regards alone, they already have a huge advantage over a majority of the teams that we've seen to date. Now, when you take a look at Yosei, they have, in a sense, 2 people who could be considered, well, of course, one is the Generation Miracle, Murasakibara, and then they have Kagami's friend, Tatsuya. So in that regards, they have two individuals that are insanely skilled around that level. So as of late, it looks like Yosen is like the best guys, or Yosen would be the most difficult opponents for Team Saren to fight against. However, then there is the ace of the Generation Miracles, Aomine, and he by himself is a team by himself. He's more than a team. He's a damn armada. He's Aomine Daiki. So, when it comes to the most difficult matchup, we don't know how it's going to be later on. But it's going to be pretty obvious that right now they're in the preliminaries. And then what they're doing right now is that they're trying to get up to the preliminaries. Apparently, Rakuzan and Toho are already in the Winter Cup because they got the top 2 spots. They got the top 2 spots, and they're already in the Winter Cup. But right now they're playing. But right now the best teams I think in Tokyo, or maybe well, yeah, I think it's the best teams in Tokyo. They're playing to get into the Winter Cup, and the top 2 teams will get into the Winter Cup. And right now, Saren just beat Jose. And so we'll see where that goes. But the episode overall, the main thing is, again, to introduce the whole thing about Kiyoshi and his status as a player. And then to see Kagami do a dunk from the foul line. And it wasn't like it wasn't like an impactful dunk because he wound up falling on his ass in the end. But the entire game he was pissed off because he was being double teamed, and it wasn't until the end of the game where Jose started to actually lose spirit. But the center on their team, the rookie, he was actually still doing his thing. He was still hauling ass. Even though they were losing, he was still hauling ass. And they wound up losing by like more than 40 points, I think. So, but even still, he was hauling ass. He was doing his thing. He was trying to win the game. So props to him. Mad props to this guy. And plus, he's also hilarious. That's the way it is. It's just that Kagami, he had pushed open the door of the Prodigy. He's pushed open the gates of Prodigy. Yeah, let me learn. And straight up dunks. Super hand guy. Super, and that's his thing. His thing is his bungees. That's why he was so adamant about, being able to dominate the air. Because his skill is being able to jump extraordinarily high. No one can do that but Kagami. Just jump. I wanna fly like an eagle. That's Space Jam, man. Seriously. And he just slams it in. So, and he's opened the gates. He's opened the Prodigy gates. Yeah. And then it's funny too, because when you see this image and like how there's like a narration, it's like there's no evidence. This is funny, but apparently all the Generation members, they could hear the sound of the gate being broken, and like you see Kagami, and it's red. He's like a freaking demon. He's like, yeah. So it was just cool. It was really, really, really cool. So the episode overall, I think it was a good episode. I really do. I think it was a good episode. They made story progression because they're now moving forward. They're actually at the preliminaries, and they won their first game, and they're probably gonna make it to Winter Cup, being like the top 2 teams within the Tokyo region. And actually, is that pretty much it? Oh no, of course the animation as usual, good animation, obviously. Pacing of the story, well paced of the episode actually. And because they actually spent a lot of time on the actual match itself, and mainly Kiyoshi and that one guy from Toho, those 2 guys from Toho, I forgot their names, but the one guy who's the captain of Toho, he's talking about Kiyoshi, and he obviously knows because he actually very smart dude. He's actually talking to the little guy about Kiyoshi and his abilities and his status. And they spent quite a bit of time on that, explaining more about Kiyoshi, because Kiyoshi, this was his first actual game, his first real game. So the majority of the spotlight on the episode was on Kiyoshi as opposed to Kagami, which I actually liked a lot, because Kagami and Kuroko are their main characters, and normally they get most of the spotlight. But in this game, it was, and they actually show the cohesion between Hyuga and Kiyoshi. Where, in sense that Kiyoshi, they were normally weak in the center. Because that one guy, and I mean, I want to say he's weak, but the center that they normally had before Kiyoshi got in there, Rinnosuke, I think that's his name. The other guy in Seirin. He was an okay center. He wasn't like special. He was okay. Like he tried to like he was a good tech dude. He knew how to box out. He could get rebounds, but he wasn't like Kiyoshi status. And all of a sudden, their weakest position within the court, the center, becomes their strongest position. And then this allows the shooting guard, I think is he shooting guard? Yeah, the shooting guard. Whoa, I forgot his name. Whoa, Hyuga. Whoa, brain fart. Hyuga, to actually shoot the ball with a lot less pressure, because he doesn't have to fear missing his shots more. Because if he does miss, then Kioshi could get the rebound easier than Rinnosuke could. So that was actually very good right there, how they explain all that. So the episode, again, it is good pace. The animation, of course, is as usual good. And when it came to the overall story progression, they did make progression forward, because they are now going deeper into the preliminaries. So overall rating is going to be good. And I'll leave it at that. So King Lightning, be sure, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.